Our story begins at a dark and creepy cabin deep in the woods. A father is shown tying up his own daughter with heavy chains.
The girl is absolutely terrified, crying out for help. Without hesitation, the father pours gasoline all over her. He pulls the trigger and sets the entire cabin on fire. Years later, 5 friends arrive at that same isolated cabin. Mia is here with them, trying to kick her drug addiction for good. Inside, they discover dozens of dead cats hanging from the ceiling. Eric stumbles upon a mysterious and disturbing book. The book appears to be wrapped in actual human skin. There are warnings written all over it, telling them to stay away, but Eric ignores the warnings and starts reading the ancient text. Suddenly, the weather takes a dark turn outside. Mia runs into the woods, but the trees themselves start to attack her. The air inside the cabin feels thick and smells like death. Mia feels like something is watching her from the shadows. As Eric flips the pages, he sees gruesome drawings made of blood. The words in the book sound like a demonic chant. Mia's screams echo through the entire forest. Tree branches wrap around her body like slithering snakes.
Mia runs back to the cabin, shaking with pure terror. Her body is covered in strange, deep gashes. She screams that something in the woods is trying to kill her, but her friends don't believe a single word she says. They just think she's having a bad reaction to drug withdrawal. Inside, Eric starts looking even closer at the mysterious book. Suddenly, the lights in the cabin begin to flicker. A massive storm hits, flooding the roads and cutting them off. Now, they're all trapped inside that nightmare of a cabin. That's when Mia's behavior completely changes. Her eyes turn a sickly yellow, and she starts making demonic noises. Olivia stands in front of the bathroom mirror. Suddenly, she sees Mia's terrifying reflection in the glass. Mia's shadow lunges at Olivia, attacking her. A demonic infection begins to spread through Olivia. She completely loses her mind and snaps. She starts slicing her own face with a sharp object. Eric tries to stop her, but Olivia now has superhuman strength. A deadly silence falls over the cabin. David realizes that something truly evil is happening to his sister.
Mia starts singing a creepy song from inside the cellar. David's girlfriend, Natalie, goes down to try and help Mia. Suddenly, Mia grabs Natalie's hand. She bites Natalie's hand so hard that the bone shows through. Dark, black blood starts oozing from the wound. Eric explains that the evil book is the cause of all this. He says the only way to stop the demon is to destroy the body. David is terrified by the idea of killing his own sister. Inside the cabin, it's nothing but blood and pure terror now. Natalie's hand has turned completely black from the infection. She's screaming like a maniac from the agonizing pain. Suddenly, she grabs an electric carving knife and starts hacking off her own arm. David rushes to help, but it's already too late. Natalie has fully transformed into a terrifying deadite. Eric and David work together to somehow get her under control. Eric explains that the demon needs 5 souls to rise from hell. If that 5th soul is taken, it will literally rain blood from the sky. Eric insists that killing Mia is the only way to save everyone else. But David is trembling at the very thought of killing his sister. David pulls Mia out of the dark cellar. Mia starts talking in a twisted voice, trying to mess with their heads. She tries to drown David, lunging at him with supernatural force. Eric jumps in to save him, but gets brutally injured in the struggle. Finally, David makes a desperate and dangerous decision. He decides to bury Mia alive to purify her soul. David digs a shallow grave in the woods for Mia. With a heavy heart, he starts shoveling dirt over her until her screams go silent. David frantically dug through the dirt and pulled her body out. Using a makeshift defibrillator, David tried to shock her heart back to life. After several desperate attempts, Mia suddenly gasped for air. Her eyes were normal again. The demon had finally left her. But inside the cabin, Eric had fully transformed into a demonic deadite. David headed back into the cabin to try and save his friend. Eric attacked him instantly, leaving David brutally injured. David realized he had to destroy Eric and the cabin for good. He ignited the gasoline, sacrificing himself to blow up the cabin with Eric inside. Mia stood outside, watching in horror as the cabin went up in flames. She thought it was finally over, but then the sky began to change. Suddenly, a massive downpour of thick red blood started falling from the sky. It was the sign that the demonic prophecy had finally come true. The ground split open. The creature looked exactly like Mia, but it was death itself. The demon wants to torture her and make her suffer before she dies. That's when Mia spots a chainsaw lying just a few feet away. The chainsaw is just barely out of her reach. She drives the chainsaw straight through the monster's body. "Swallow this!" she screams as she rips the demon in half. Mia is covered in gore, but she's the sole survivor of this nightmare. The morning sun finally rises as Mia walks out of that hellish forest. But the story doesn't end quite yet. During the credits, we hear a very familiar voice from the past. The voice simply says, "groovy," a hint that the evil is far from over.